Greetings everyone, today I would like to continue my random talk about the random stuff, and I'm sorry for not making much of videos recently. I was busy, also I was having some visitors, and also Mongolian summer festival Natam is coming. It's a horse racing, wrestling and archery. So currently I'm talking about word bill, and I talked about this people can be spoiled if you give too much this charity or handout, something like that. And why? It is because we have a natural greed. We like free stuff. We like to take something like that. So if you pour a water on such a flower, it blooms, it becomes big and strong, and sometimes you cannot this cut it down. So it creates some kind of this Belenchleh setgel. There can be many this ideas on what is a Belenchleh setgel, and there can be many examples how it's like appear, something like that. And it's a free take mentality. People like to take stuff for free, something like that. Well, it is sometimes it's natural. For example, if you give a little baby something, baby usually takes it and immediately puts it into her or his mouth. So little babies are like very hungry in this looking. So if you find an empty land, this good spacious land, and if you think it's like nobody owns it, you settling, you take it, and of course it's natural. If you see this bunch of this berries, you immediately start to this collect it, because you think no one this owns it, or before someone comes and harvests this good stuff, I have to harvest it first. And if you see a forest, you cut down the trees and you build your house, etc., etc. So all this stuff is natural, and you have this tendency to take everything for free. But it turns something bad if you live in a human society, something like that. Imagine your neighbor is poor, and she constantly asks you for a tool. It's like, can you give me your hammer? And you give your hammer, and you wait. But this person is not giving it back, and you have to go there and ask, neighbor, do you remember that you are this was asking for my this hammer? Do you have it? Something like that. And she returns it, something like that. So such a stuff constantly happens, and she constantly asks, can you lend me your pot? Can you lend me your this brush, or this saw, etc., etc. And this is this really annoying, and must say such a stuff occurs when you have some bad neighbors. They are constantly ask for your stuff, and sometimes they do not return it. Sometimes they say, I'm sorry, I lost it, or even this I borrowed it to someone, wait for a few days, I'll just take it back. So this person is taking something from you, but it's also borrowing it to someone. So this is this is this total mess. So it is kind of hard to have something or own something if you have such neighbors. So they are like sometimes they are taking stuff without asking. This, or I took your this stuff, I'm sorry, here you are, something like that. So this can create some, you know, this robbery, something like that. A person who takes stuff without, you know, this permission is something like that. It's basically a robber. And here in Mongolia, if there is a bag, you know, this people can, you know, this look at the bag and simply take it. But I heard that in Europe, you do not take such, you know, this you know, this untainted, something like that, in this a bag, you know, this, it can be a bomb, you know, you do not take it. And I heard that in Japan, if you find a bag, you usually go give it to a police, and police keep it in storage, and you can, you know, this call the police that I lost, you know, this my bag, and you can recover your bag. But not here in Mongolia. If you put your bag somewhere and in this untainted, something, you know, this you're not looking, someone can take it. So such a mentality is free take mentality, and this can be, you know, this very wrong if you live in a human society. So yeah, what else can be in this free take mentality? Well, when everything is like good and this bella, bellissimo, and something like that, people get used to it, and people think that, you know, this when they visit the countryside, they should have, you know, this hot water, they should have, you know, this good heating, or they should have, you know, this food must be like prepared for them, something like that. But when you are like in this condition, you have to prepare your meal. You have to like go to, you have to bring water from a river. So it's a, you know, this hard job. So if you think everything is like granted, it means someone is doing it for you. If you wake up in the morning and there is food, when your mom is like done it, someday it will end. Someday you will have to do, you know, this own stuff. You have to cook yourself, something like that. So better start learning. There is stuff traditionally considered to be shameful or stupid to ask. Well, for example, can I use your horse? Can I use your horse? This is so wrong. This is so stupid. I mean, when I'm not using my horse, I'm giving it free time. My horse is resting. My horse is feeding, and I hope that my horse is, you know, this doing well, something like that. But someone is asking that can I use your horse? It simply means that you know, this basically my horse is a slave, so he wants to, you know, give my slave another job, and my, you know, this slave, or you know, this is like tyrant, but it's like, you know, this stupid. I guess it's wrong to use word slave, but horse, it should be like friend. So you do not ask someone's friend, can I use your friend? So, something like that. So this is wrong. Also, there is this, you do not ask for a fire, you do not ask for a heat. In old times, every man had a duty to carry, you know, this fire creating tool. This is basically a stone and you know, this metal. When you heat those, you know, this stuff, you know, two stuff together, you create a heat and you know, the fire, something like that. So since it's like, you know, this heating here in Mongolia, this is called heat. You do not ask for a heat. I mean, word heat is basically English heat or heat. So you do not ask for heat or fire, something like that. So a real man should have this education to create own, you know, this fire. Well, basically it is, you know, this very simple to ask for fire. And someone already started fire, you just go there and you this with a branch and borrow fire and you burn your own fire. It's basically very simple. It's like this simple, but why you should forbid it? Well, it is because this. You have to create a like own fire, not this constantly ask for your neighbor, something like that. So constantly asking for our neighbors became a big problem here in Mongolia. Excuse me. Bueno, Gustavan. 자, 어떡 비어 어떡 가르치지. 다 갖다 서지. 자. So yeah, it's in the early morning and I have to go to my work. So yeah, asking for this stuff, constantly asking for our neighbors is like very bad. And when you ask, when you have this desire for their stuff, you become their slaves, something like that. So let's just go back to our this bal or this Belenchleh pen. So here in Mongolia, a pen is called bal. People usually think that this since it has some this liquid, colorful liquid inside, like honey or something that comes from when you rub metal, you have this black stuff on your finger. This is called a bal. That's why this pen is called a bal. But there's a different story. It's about this statue with a inscription on it. In this statue. So a statue that contains this ancient this runic writing here in Mongolia called Balbal. Why it is called Balbal? Pen, pen, pen. It is because you take a hammer, you take something this sharp or this metal rod, and you do this stuff. This stuff is called bal, something like that. So Balbal is created by this balbach, meaning to this heat, to carve, something like that. So these statues, Turkic statues, are called carved. That's why it's called Balbal. And of course, every this great Khan wants to this erect his great Balbal and share his thoughts, something like that. So let me this quote one great Turkic king called Belenchleh, and he wrote something like this. I'm quoting what is most important or what is related with our current talk, something like that. So it goes something like that. I was born as a son of a human being between giving blue heavens and holy Mother Earth. My kind lost its name, Turk, and it became servants of a Nangsha. Nangsha means Southerners. They gave their strength and heart for their Nangsha king for 50 years. And once my great these ancestors decided that we should gain independence, something like that. And we fought our this freedom, we fought we fought the four corners of earth, because the four corners of earth were the enemies when we fought for our freedom. And I established my kingdom, and I made poor into rich. Naked had clothing, orphans had families. Now my these servants have their own servants, In this concubines had, have their own concubines, and in old times, the sons of Turks became the slaves of Nansha. Holy daughters became the concubines of this Nansha, and this let this this stuff never happen again, something like that. So yeah, this statue gives such this how to say, desire, or this such kind of teachings, or this you people should have this own this state, own freedom. You should carry your name Turk, something like that. Well, that's pretty much for today, and thanks for watching.